G'day, I'm Arthur from Amtek, and we are going to be running through the operation of the lift and restraint in one of the uniting Toyota Commuter Bus that is set up for one wheelchair position or 10 seats, including driver. As a general rule, it's a good idea to thoroughly check around the car every morning, and as one of the important processes, it's very important to ensure the wheelchair lift is tightly folded in. It means every morning, regardless the wheelchair lift is going to be used during the day or not, it's a good idea to open up the tailgate and press the fold button, which is bottom left. Press the fold button just to ensure the wheelchair lift is tightly held in place, because if it's not done, then you will have a lot more rattles coming from the wheelchair lift. So once the wheelchair lift needs to be used on level hard surfaces. To use it, first press the unfold button, press and hold until it stops. Stop, press the down button. The next step is to prepare the interior of the bus to take the wheelchair, which involves preparing the fold-up seat. Just make sure it's in folded up position. Wheelchair restraints are all taken out of the box, ready to go. So to operate the seat, there's a lever here. Open up the leg, close it, and there's a lever here for the backrest. That's just to use the seat, to fold the seat away. Everything in reverse, so press it down, lock the backrest down, and there is a lever here. Press it with your foot, lift it up, lock it away. Have the wheelchair tie down fittings ready from the box. So you have 4 of these fittings, 2 in the front, 2 in the rear. So we'll have that ready for the wheelchair. Then we have the seat belt, the front one is here. Now we can take the wheelchair. Now the bus is ready to take the wheelchair. So just gonna have our lovely Richard. Handsome Richard, yes. So Australian standards don't restrict the attendant to stand behind the wheelchairs, provided there is enough physical space and enough weight carrying capacity in the lift. So in our case, the wheelchair platform is fairly large. The wheelchair is large as well, but there's enough space for me to step on the platform comfortably, provided the brakes are functional and they are applied. So always hold on to the handrail, and always recommend the wheelchair occupant to hold on to the handrail as well. And always let the wheelchair occupant know that you're about to go up or down, so they don't make a shock. So Richard, we are going up. Be located as close as possible to the right hand side wall. That's how it's set up, just to give you a small gap on the left hand side. So first you bring it forward, but don't go too far forward, because you want to give yourself enough room to put the restraints in. So for now you just apply the brakes. Park the wheelchair approximately half a meter away from the seats, just to give the carer enough space to squeeze in front, and apply the right hand side front hook, which is this one here. See at the moment I have enough space to apply the hook. on, and we'll do the front left hand side in the same manner. Okay, so then we will need to move the wheelchair forward and keep it as close to the right hand side seat as possible. So this wheelchair is a bariatric wheelchair, by the way, so it's much wider than ordinary wheelchairs, but for the demonstration purpose it's still suitable. Alright, so we're going to go forward. The brakes are off, yep. About here. Yep, I think it's good. Enough leg room for you. And we'll just apply the brakes. Now the wheelchair brakes are applied and the front wheelchair restraint fittings are hooked into the wheelchair. We need to fit the two rear fittings. Just slide it here, pull all the way out, hold on to it so it doesn't retract, and then apply it as high as possible to the seat. Same as this one here. As you move the wheelchair forward and backwards and ensure it's as close to the seat as possible, you'll find that these fittings will automatically retract, but to add more tension you can just wind it by hand until it's all firm. Yeah, the wheelchair is rock solid, it's not going anywhere. Now that both front tie down hooks are applied to the wheelchair and both rear ones are applied to the rear of the wheelchair, the next step is to apply the wheelchair occupant lap seat belts. So typically I keep the buckle on the left hand side. That makes it easier to undo it or make some adjustments. So the lap belt needs to be located firmly over the client's hips and needs to be running over the backrest. So the wheelchair occupant lap belts need to be applied firmly over the wheelchair occupant hips and need to run between the armrest and the backrest in that gap. So these are not allowed to be placed over armrest or wheels, because in case of accidents they will cause more injuries to the wheelchair occupant. So they need, most wheelchairs typically have a gap between the backrest and armrest, so just make sure the belt is running here and not running over here. So it's through there, and then these get clipped into the fitting like that, and same as the other end here, and then there's enough adjustment. The wheelchair occupant lap belt is applied, secured and adjusted. The last thing is the shoulder belt, which needs to run over the right shoulder and clip into the lug sewn into the occupant lap belt. So clip into that and then adjust the length so it sits on the shoulder firmly. How does it feel? Feel secure? Yes. Alright. So then, yeah, the wheelchair is safely secured in place. Then the fold can be folded out of the way. So the attendant or the carer can stand on the lift platform and ride on the lift platform. So we'll go up. Fold. please remember, every morning you need to open up the tailgate and press this fold button until the lift stops, because overnight or over the weekend the lift will lose some of its hydraulic pressure and will be loose, like here, and you'll find it will rattle a lot as you're driving along. So it's extremely important to press the fold button every morning, just to ensure the longevity of the lift is not compromised and it doesn't cause any rattles, annoying all the occupants, and cause premature wear in the lift. Driving the vehicle, ensure all the doors are closed and folding step is folded in. So the fold out step has a strap to allow the carriers to fold the step into the vehicle from inside as well. So to fold and unfold, you can use the strap or you can use the step itself. When it's folded out, you just secure the strap so it's out of the way, and before driving off, fold the step in and secure the strap away. And in this case we have an electric door. So everything needs to be undone in a reverse order. So the last item was the shoulder belt. So that will be the first item to be undone. So just put the belt. Let's put a Velcro strap in here. The Velcro gets stuck in here, so the belt doesn't dangle around. The next item is the lap belt. You can store it in a box. Then the rear fittings need to be removed. You can actually release it with your foot. Like that. Pull the webbing out and undo it. Yeah, set it here. Release it with your foot. Pull the webbing out and unhook it. And see, there's no locks, you just slide it out. Then we need to remove the front hooks. The front left hand side is fairly easily accessible. The right hand side is restricted, but there's a cable release lever that will help us accessing the front right hand side tie-down fitting. Front left hand side fitting is pretty easy to access. So we just pull the webbing out. The purpose of pulling the webbing out, it gives you enough slack here to comfortably undo the hook. Take that out, we'll put that in the box later. Now, the front right hand side, as you can see, there's hardly any room for me to squeeze in front of the wheelchair, but for that reason, once we undo the brakes, we have this lever here that we can press. That releases the front right hand side fitting. So press and hold and push the wheelchair back until you have a reasonable space to access the front right hand side fitting. So apply the brakes again so it doesn't roll. And the front right hand side fitting doesn't need to be removed, it's attached to the cable. You can just simply rotate it out of the way. And now the wheelchair is ready to be pushed onto the platform. Okay, the hand controller for the lift has a magnetic back, so we can temporarily leave it there so it's closer to where we need to use it. The brakes are off, and again, because we have a large enough platform, enough weight capacity, which is 400 kilos, so I can actually safely stand behind the wheelchair. Just make sure the front of the wheelchair clears the roll stop in the front. which is about here. Apply the brakes. Ask the occupant to hold on to the handrails. And you need to hold on to the handrail as well. Watch your head, and we are going down. Press and hold. There we go. Brakes are again.
Thank you very much. Thank you.